How plants survive. Plants survive through a combination of adaptations, essential processes, and interactions with their environment. Their survival strategies vary depending on the environment they inhabit. Objectives: describe the structure and functions of the different plant organs. Explain the different metabolic processes involved in the plant organ systems. Describe the major features and chemical events of photosynthesis. Plant form and function. Always remember that the plant body is a hierarchy of structural levels just like in multicellular animals. The plant body is composed of an organ that is made up of tissues that is composed of group of cells. There are several features plants common to almost all angiosperms, but there are two groups of plants particular which we call the monocot and dicot, which differ in anatomical details.
Monocots versus dicots. Number 1, we have the seed. The seed in monocot has one cotyledon. The cotyledon is the embryonic leaf inside the seed. Dicot has two cotyledon. Number 2, we have the roots. The root in monocot has fibrous roots. This is a root system with many thin roots spreading out. Root in dicot has top roots. This is a main thick root that grows downward, with smaller roots branching from it. Now we have the flower. Flower in monocot is typically has petals of multiples of 3. Yung multiples of 3, kumbaga, pag tumubo siya, magiging 6. So, magiging doble. Magiging, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then, we have flower in dicot typically has 4 or 5 petals. Pag tumubo siya, tutubo lang siya ng 4 and 5 petals. Hindi na siya dodoble katulad ng monocots. Now, we have the leaves. Leaves in monocot has narrow parallel veins. Leaves in dicots has oval palmate net-like veins. Now we have the vascular bundle. Vascular bundle in monocot has scattered through the stem. Kumbaga, nag-i-scattered po siya sa isang stem, tapos kapag sa dicot naman, maayos yung pagkakaano niya. Pabilog siya, arranged in a ring. Sa monocots, kumbaga nagtipon-tipon lang sila doon pero hindi maayos. Walang line up. Tapos sa kabila naman may line up pero pabilog. Sunod-sunod na pabilog. Now, we have the pollen grains. Pollen grains in monocot has 1 furrow. Pollen grain in dicot has 3 pore and furrows. I have an example of monocots here, like grasses, lilies, and corn. Example of dicots: beans, roses, and apples. And the meaning of pore and furrow is, a pore or furrow is an opening or groove to the surface of the pollen grain. Now, we have the plant form and function. Number 1, we have the basic organs. Basic organs, these are the main parts of the plant that are necessary for its growth and development. Example, roots, stems, and leaves. Now we have the roots. Roots, this is the part of the plant that is usually underground. Function of the root: absorbs water and nutrients from the soil. Provide stability to the plant by anchoring it to the ground. Example, roots of carrots, sweet potatoes, and other root crops. Next, we have the stem. Stem, this is the part of the plant that connects the roots to the leaves. The function of the stem is carries water and nutrients from the roots to the leaves. Provides support to the plant to stand upright. Example of the stems of trees, bamboo, and other plants. Now we have the leaves. Leaves, this is the part of the plant that is usually green due to chlorophyll function. Makes food for the plant through photosynthesis. Exchanges gases with the environment. Example, leaves of mangoes, guava leaves, and other plants. Tissue system. These are the groups of cells that perform a specific function in the plant. Function of tissue system. There are different types of tissue system with different functions, such as transporting water and nutrients, providing protection to the plant, and making food. Example of tissue system, xylem and phloem. This is vascular tissue. Epidermis, this is dermal tissue. Parenchyma, this is ground tissue. Now we have the types of roots or the root system. Roots secure the plant in the ground, preventing it from toppling over. Absorption of nutrients. Roots absorb water and essential nutrients from the soil, which are vital for the plant's growth and survival. Now we have the types of root system. Number 1, we have the tap roots. It has parang may tatlong part siya na prominent in dicot. Primary roots grow and becomes stout. Pangatlo, secondary and tertiary grow from primary root. The first one is prominent in dicots, is commonly found in dicotyledonous plants. Primary roots grow and become stout. The main root grows thick and strong. Secondary and tertiary grow from primary root. Smaller roots branch out from the main root. Example, dandelion flower. Or, example, dandelion. Now we have the fibrous roots. We have 3 parts. The prominent in monocots, roots develop from lower nodes. They have same length and diameter. The number 1, commonly found in monocotyledonous plants. Roots develop from number 2, roots develop from lower nodes. Roots grow from the stem's nodes near the soil. Number 3, they have the same length and diameter. Roots are generally uniform in size. Example of fibrous roots is grass. Next, we have the adventitious roots. We have the one part of adventitious roots. They develop from organs of root system. Roots emerge from stems or leaves. Example, mint. That's all for the root system. Of the shoot system. The number 1, we have the supports the leaf and flowers in the best position. The stem provides structural support, holding the leaves up to maximize sunlight. Exposure for photosynthesis. It also supports flowers, aiding in pollination. Example of supports the leaves and flowers in the best position is the strong upright stem of a sunflower supports its large head, ensuring it faces the sun. Dapat daw po nakaharap sa sun or sa araw. Then, we have the passageway of nutrients. The stem contains vascular tissues, xylem and phloem, that transport water from the roots to the leaves and flowers. It also transports sugar produced during photosynthesis from the leaves to the other parts of the plant. Example of passageway of nutrients is in a tomato plant, the stem transport water and minerals from the roots to the leaves and developing tomatoes while also carrying sugar produced in the leaves down to the roots for energy storage. We have the stem parts and their function. First, we have the thermal or apical bud. Thermal and apical bud, the function is promotes primary growth, leading to the elongation of the stem. It contains meristematic tissue responsible for producing new cells. Example, the apical bud at the top of a pine tree leads to the tree growing taller. Now we have the nodes. Function of nodes points on the stem where leaves, flowers, or buds emerge. They are crucial for plant architecture and development. Example, the nodes on a bamboo stem are where new branches and leaves sprout. Internodes. The function of internodes is the stem segments between two nodes, facilitating the transport of nutrients and water between nodes. Example, the internodes of rose stem allow the plant to grow taller and support more flowers. Now we have the axil. The function of axil is the angle between a leaf and the stem. A bud usually forms here, which can develop into a branch or flower. Example of axil. The axil of a tomato plant is where a new side shoots or flower clusters develop. Explain ko lang po yung function niya and I'm gonna give some example. Now we have the petiole. We have the petiole. The function of petiole is the stalk that attaches a leaf to the stem, facilitating the transport of water and nutrients to the leaves, and the product of photosynthesis from the leaf to the stem. Example, the petiole of maple leaf connects a leaf blade to the stem, allowing move and capture sunlight. Now we have the pedicel. Function of pedicel, the stalk that attaches a flower to the stem. Example, the pedicel of a rose connects the flower to the main stem, supporting the flower and facilitating nutrient transport. Lateral and axillary bud. The function of lateral and axillary bud is a bud located in the axil of a leaf, capable of developing into a new branch or flower. Example, the axillary bud on an apple tree can develop into new branches, increasing the tree's canopy. Now we have the leaves. Function of the leaves. Primary site of photosynthesis where sunlight is converted into chemical energy or sugar. The broad leaves of a sunflower capture sunlight, enabling the plant to produce energy. Now we have the flower. Function of a flower. Produce structure of the plant, responsible for producing seeds through pollination and fertilization. Example, the colorful petals of hibiscus flower attract pollinators, facilitating reproduction. Now we have
The image illustrates underground stem modification in plant, detailing 4 types. Example, tuber, bulb, rhizomes, and corms. Here's some breakdown each. Tuber, swollen underground stem that store nutrient. Example po nun ay potato. Yung bulb po is short upright stem surrounded by fleshy leaves or scale. Example po nun ay onion. Tapos sa rhizome po, a horizontal underground stem that send out shoot and roots from its nodes. Example po nun Ginger. Corn. A solid swelling underground stem that stores food. Example po nun ay gladius. Sa pangalawang page naman po, leaf definition. A flattened green lateral appendage of a plant. Primary function included photosynthesis and transpiration. Key part of leaf. Blade the broad of flat parts of the leaf. Responsible for distribution of food produced during photosynthesis. Ito, at i-explain ko po yung mga key component. Isa yung apex, the tip of the leaf, margin, the edge of the leaf, at yung vein naman po, muscular structure that transport water and nutrients. Midrib, the central vein of leaf. Base, the part of the leaf that connect to petiole. Petiole that stalk to connect the leaf blade of the stem. Stipule, small appendage found at the base of the petiole. Stomata, small opening on the leaf surface that allow for gas exchange. Chlorophyll, the green pigment in plants responsible for absorbing light during photosynthesis. Sa pangatlong chapter naman po, bracts, modified leaf found out at the base of flower or flower stalk. Often brightly colored to attract pollinator resembling petals. Example po nito ay bougainvillea. Trendils can be modified leaf tissue or special shoot within modified stem. Used for climbing or support twinning around the object. Example ba nito yung mga cucumber. Stolon, thin above ground horizontal stem with intermediate growth. Growth from a parent plant, producing young plants and roots along their length. Also known as a runner. Example po nun ay strawberry runner. For my last chapter, the image illustrate tissue-resistant plants showcase the arrangement and function of dermal, vascular, and ground tissue. I-overview lang po natin, plants organ are composed of three tissue system, dermal, vascular, and ground. These tissue are organized to perform specific function necessary for plant survival and growth. Dermal tissue form of outermost layer of the plant, covering its surface function, protect your inner tissue from damage, pathogen, and water loss. Connection, connect the plant to outer world, facilitating the gas exchange and nutrient absorption.
We have the ground tissue. But first, I'm gonna identify each of the ground tissue and their characteristics and location and their function, also their appearance. I'm gonna explain them one by one. We have three types of ground tissue. We have the parenchyma, the collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. First one, we have the parenchyma. The characteristics of parenchyma is spherical, thin-walled, and living metabolizing tissue. The location of parenchyma is throughout the plant. Nakalocate daw po siya sa may labas ng halaman. Tapos, ang function po ng parenchyma is photosynthesis, respiration, storage, and regeneration. Next, the appearance of parenchyma. Cells are loosely packed with the thin walls, allowing for efficient gas exchange and metabolic activities. Next, number 2, we have the collenchyma. The characteristics of collenchyma is elongated cells with unevenly thickened cell walls, alive at maturity. The location of collenchyma is beneath the epidermis in young stem and in leaf veins. The function of collenchyma is flexible support system. The appearance of collenchyma is cells have thickened cell walls at the corners, providing mechanical support without hindering growth. Next, we have the sclerenchyma. the characteristics of sclerenchyma is with primary and secondary cell walls, dead at functional maturity. Next, the location of sclerenchyma is fibers in wood, bark, leaves, stems, X-rays in fruits and seeds. Next, we have the functions. The function of sclerenchyma is structural support. Next, we have the appearance. Cells have thick, rigid cell walls due to presence of lignin or lignin, providing strength and support to plant structures. That's all for ground tissue. Next, we have the vascular tissue. Vascular tissue is composed of xylem and phloem, which function in the transport of water and dissolved substances throughout the plant. First, we have the xylem. Function of xylem: transport water and minerals from the roots to the rest of the plant. The direction of flow is one-way flow. Ayan, pataas siya. Then, the structure: no end walls between cells, and stiffened with lignin. Next, we have the phloem. Phloem has two-way flow, and the function of phloem is transport water and food, photosynthesis product. Ang photosynthesis product daw po is yung water and food from the leaves to other parts of the plant. And the direction of flow is two-way flow. Tapos, and yung structure niya, end walls with perforations. That's all for vascular tissue. Now we have the plant growth and development. Plant growth and development has meristematic tissues. Meristematic tissue is responsible for the division of new cells. Zone of activity: dividing cells allow the organism to have intermediate growth, ensuring that the plant can grow throughout its life. First one, we have, I'm gonna explain the root structure here. First one, we have the zone of differentiation. The zone of differentiation is further up. Cells differentiate into specific tissue types such as the epidermis, the cortex, root hairs. The epidermis is the outermost layer of the cell, providing protection and facilitating water and nutrient absorption. Next, we have the cortex. Cortex is a ground tissue that stores food and water. Siya daw po yung nag-i-store ng food and water. Kumbaga, dun po siya naiipon sa mismo sa loob. And root hairs, extension of epidermal cells that increase the surface area for water and nutrient absorption. Kumbaga, parang nag-extend yung epidermal cells that nag-i-increase yung surface niya para ma-absorb yung water and nutrients. Parang ganun yung pagkakaintindi ko. Next, we have the zone of elongation. Elongation. Basta yun. Parang meron din siyang dalawang parts. Yung phloem tubes. Phloem tubes. The meaning of phloem tubes is part of the vascular tissue transporting sugar. Yung phloem tubes daw po, parang doon napupunta yung sugar. Doon dumadaan. Next, xylem is the part of the vascular tissue transporting water. Siya daw po yung nagtatransport ng water. Next, we have the root crop. Root crop and meristem. Meristem is located at the root tip. Kumbaga, parang dun sa loob po mismo, tapos dun sa pinakababa, dun po siya nakalocate. Ang hirap po kasi siyang i-explain. Ayan, pakita ko na lang. Ayaw niya mag ano eh. Ayaw niya mag focus. Ayan. Parang ito po yung sinasabing meristem. Ito, dito po siya sa mismong loob. Ito pong kulay puti. Ayan. Diyan po siya nakalocate. Next, we have the photosynthesis. First, we have the autotrophs. Autotrophs is the organism that can produce their own food. Ito daw po yung mga autotrophs na kayang mag-produce ng sarili nilang pagkain. Example ng autotrophs is terrestrial plants, kelp, algae, and phytoplankton plants. That's all for autotrophs. Thank you.
Ang chlorophyll ay isang organelle na matatagpuan sa mga halamang selula. At dito rin nagaganap ang photosynthesis, ang proseso kung saan ginagamit ng mga halaman ang enerhiya ng oras ng tubig at carbon dioxide upang makagawa ng glucose ng pagkain ng halaman. Naglalaman ito ng chlorophyll ang pigmentong nagbibigay ng birding kulay sa mga halaman at tumutulong sumisipsip ng liwanag ng araw para sa photosynthesis. Ang outer membranes, panlabas ng bahagi ng chlorophyll na nagsisilbing proteksyon. Ang inner membranes din ay panloob ng layer o nagkokontrol sa pagpasok at paglabas ng mga substance. Ang intermembrane space naman ay espasyo ng pagitan ng outer at inner membranes. At ang stroma naman ay likidong bahagi ng sa loob ng chloroplast kung saan nagaganap ang dark reaction ng photosynthesis. Ang thylakoid naman ay maliliit ng bilog na lamad kung saan nagaganap ang light reaction. Tapos ang granum o stalk or thylakoids, tumpok ng mga thylakoid kung saan nangyayari ang pagsipsip ng liwanag. Ang thylakoid loom naman po ay loob ng thylakoid na may papel sa production ng enerhiya. Ang stages photosynthesis naman po ay proseso kung saan ang mga halaman ay gumawa ng sarili nilang pagkain gamit ang enerhiya mula sa araw, tubig at carbon dioxide. Ang light reaction, photochemical reaction, nangyari ito sa mga granum o thylakoid na chloroplast. Kailangan din ito ng liwanag at araw upang mangyari ang reaksyon. Sa bahaging ito, ginagamit ang enerhiya ng araw upang hatiin ang tubig sa oxygen at electrons. Tapos ang dark reaction o Calvin cycle, nangyari ito sa stroma ng chloroplast. At hindi ito nangangailangan ng direktang liwanag, kaya tinawag na dark reaction. Ang ginagamit dito ay ang ATP at NADPH mula sa light reaction kasama sa carbon dioxide upang makabuo ng glucose. Ang light reaction ay nangyayari sa thylakoid gumagamit ng liwanag at gumawa ng oxygen. Ang dark reaction naman ay nangyayari sa stroma gumamit ng ATP at NADPH at carbon dioxide at gumagawa ng glucose. Ang photosynthesis chemical equation naman ay ang 6C02 ay ang 6 molecules of carbon dioxide which plants obtain from the air. Ang 6H20 naman ay 6 molecules of water which plants absorb from the soil through their roots. Ang photosynthesis naman po ay this is the process where plants use sunlight to convert carbon dioxide and water into glucose and oxygen. Ang CXH1206 ay ang 1 molecule of glucose, a simple sugar that serves as the plant's food or energy source. Ang 6O2 naman ay 6 molecules of oxygen which is released into the atmosphere as a byproduct. Ang light-dependent reaction o light reaction, ito ay ang unang bahagi ng photosynthesis kung saan ang chlorophyll sa dahon ang sumisipsip ng enerhiya mula sa araw. Sa prosesong ito, ang tubig ay hinati at bilang resulta lumabas ang oxygen. Habang ginagamit ang liwanag, ang halaman naman ay gumawa ng dalawang mahalagang molekula ng enerhiya. Ito ay ang ATP at NADPH. Ang meaning ng NADPH ay ang nicotinamide, adenine, nucleotide, phosphate o hydrogen. Ang dark reaction o Calvin cycle ay ito ay isang paulit-ulit na serye ng mga reaksyon na gumagamit ng mga enzyme upang bumuo ng mga molekula ng asukal mula sa carbon dioxide at sa mga produktong nagmula sa light reaction tulad ng ATP at NADPH. Expected produkto. Ito ang pangunahing asukal na gumagamit na halaman bilang pinagmumula ng enerhiya. Sa light reaction versus dark reaction naman ay ginagamit ng halaman ang liwanag ng araw at tubig upang makabuo ng oxygen, ATP at NADPH na nagsisilbing enerhiya. Sa dark reaction naman po ay ginagamit ang ATP, NADPH at carbon dioxide upang makagawa ng asukal na pagkain ng halaman. Sa madaling sabi, ang light reaction ay gumagawa ng enerhiya at ang dark reaction naman ay gumagamit ng enerhiyang iyon upang makabuo ng pagkain. Kaya ang H2 ay ang chemical ng simbolo ng tubig. H2 hydrogen o oxygen. Kaya ang H2 ay binubuo ng dalawang hydrogen atoms at isang oxygen atom na pinagsama upang magbuo ng molekula ng tubig.